Oh, hiya, honeys. Welcome back to my spooky little corner. For those who don't know me, I am Lady Myleta, and I bid you welcome. So how are you, my darklings? How's everybody today? I got a cool little video for you today. It might be a little longer than some of my others, but I want it to be pretty in-depth for all of you. So today, I got this beautiful box in the mail. And for those, it is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. And we are going to try a full face of e.l.f. Cosmetics. Now, I know I tend to gravitate more towards the more higher end brands, but I wanted to try a drugstore brand and do a full face of it and kind of compare what they're like. So I did have a couple things of e.l.f. already. I have my 16-hour e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And I do lock-on liner and brow cream in medium brown. And I also have a lot of tools. So I have my e.l.f. sponge. And I have a whole pile of brushes because we all know these tend to be my favorite. So I had to do some purchasing though. So got everything else we needed. So my order in total, American, was $117.55. Now that converted to Canadian was $166.04. So all the prices I have of all the products are actually American prices, but it's easy enough to convert. And so e.l.f. has this new line. They've been releasing their retro look. So I did pick up a few of those pieces. So the one is the Retro Paradise 5-piece brush set. And it comes with a small angled brush, a flat eyeshadow brush, a blending eye brush, an airbrush blender, and an all-over powder blush. And that's the packaging. It's quite pretty. And I also got the e.l.f. Retro Paradise Shine and Lip Kit. So this comes with a gloss and then 4 different lip liner pencils. And I actually don't have any lip liner pencils, so this is why I grabbed this set. So that way I have a multiple of color. Now the gloss, I am not a gloss girl. I really don't like how glossy lips look. So this one in particular is going to one of my little darklings who I know watches. So she will be getting that. And then to finish up the retro palette, or the Retro Paradise collection, I did grab the eyeshadow palette. And it has 18 colors in it. Oh, let's open this up. There we go. It's quite versatile. It's got a lot of neutrals, but it has a lot of fun pops of color, which is generally the type of palettes I generally gravitate towards, unless I want something in just one particular monochromatic color. When I buy a palette, I want a little bit of an assortment, so that way I can use it on my days where I don't want any color. But I can use it when I'm like, I'm going to be a wild child and I want every color of the rainbow on my skin. So it looks really nice. I'm really impressed with it. So if you want to see a full face of e.l.f. Cosmetics, stay with me and let's dive in. Okay, so we started by priming my eyes, and today I actually did buy an eye primer. This is called the Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer, and it is in shade Sheer, and this actually cost $3 American. So I just put it on my eyes and down below too, because I always put my shadows quite low, so we figured we'd start with that. And I just blended that in with my e.l.f. Beauty Sponge. Okay, so let's get into this e.l.f. Retro Paradise Eye Palette. It does have a lot of fun colors in it. And it's got a good like mixture of neutrals and color. It's quite fun. So, let's see. I think I'm going to start with this color here. It's called Fuego, and I'm going to put that in my crease. Let's see, what kind of brushes do I have? All right. I'm just going to use one of my regular blending eye brushes here. And I'm just going to dip into this Fuego color. Looks like a kind of nice, kind of peachy, kind of coral shade. And I am just going to put this in my crease. It's kind of coming out a bit more orange on the skin than I was anticipating. I thought it looked more corally, but it's definitely coming across more orange. Not that I mind, I do like a nice orange eyeshadow, so it's good to have that in there. There is quite a bit of fallout in the pan, but then again, as I always say, that is not something I entirely worry about because it's a pressed shadow. There should be fallout or you're not getting the color out. Plain and simple. So let's start that. Okay, that color laid down quite nicely. Very pretty. And I'm going to take our newest brush. This is the blending eye brush in our new set. And I'm going to take the shade Canvas up here, the lightest shade, and I'm going to blend that Fuego shade up right into my brows. Again, there's fallout, but I'm going to catch it all and I'm going to put it on my lid. It's almost like a really pretty, almost bone shade, so that's good for placing, like for transition and for blending out other colors. I think almost all palettes should have that type of shade. Okay. I blended out really nicely and I didn't lose that Fuego shade, which is really pleasant surprise. Sometimes when you blend out with a lighter color, you kind of lose the depth of the brighter color, and I feel like I didn't, so great, that's good. So I want to deepen my outer corners. That's kind of normally what I do. So there is this shade called Nightlife and it is black. So let's see how that works. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just going to take a smaller, this is the eye crease e.l.f. brush, and I'm just going to dip into this. Let's see. Oh, she looks black. She looked black. Okay, so I'm just going to put it on the outside corner here and blend it up. She's going on black. I wouldn't say she's the best black I've ever had, but she's black. A bit of packing and mixing to get the darkness that I would want with my black. So I don't know if this would be my go-to black, but on a budget, that goes on quite nice. I did forget to tell you how much this eyeshadow palette is. Only $14 American. It's a lot cheaper compared to most of the other ones I've been using lately, so that's okay. All right, so I do have it on. I don't know how well it's on, but it is on. And now I'm just going to dip into that Fuego shade and kind of blend out the edges of it so it's not quite so harsh. See if I lose the black as I do this, because that's a common occurrence too with black. It won't stay black, it'll go kind of brownish, or it doesn't blend well. And I would say that it's not blending so great. All right, back to the black. I totally almost lost it on that one side. Okay. Here we go. That's so far our look. I'm just going to use a mirror quick to make sure I got it all. Yeah, the black did kind of smudge off quite a bit there. I'm just going to dip back into that Fuego shade because I want to make sure I have it over this side. But unfortunately, I'm kind of losing it. Here I have it, no problem. But here it's just disappearing into the black and not blending out very nicely. Good to know. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to cut the crease and we'll try some of the glitters in it. So I'm going to take the little small angle brush. I guess they were sitting funny in the package because they're all a little bent, but it'll still work okay. And I'm just going to take the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer in Light Peach. And I'm just going to put some of that on my hand. Just like that. And we'll use that for cutting the crease. Okay, so the creases are cut now. So let's dive into some of these like more funky kind of metallic-y shades. There's a few in here that look really nice. This Disco right here is quite pretty. It's like a purpley blue. We got this Sip Sip, which is nice. Rise and Shine, which looks like a nice gold. This Perizzo, I don't know. It almost looks like it's got like brown, but it's got like a mint kind of reflect in it. And the Baha Mar is even a nice one too. So as always with shimmer colors, I like to add a setting spray to really pack them in. We are going to use our new this is the flat eyeshadow brush, so we'll use that. I also did get a setting spray from e.l.f. This is the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Spray for up to 16-hour wear, and this setting spray was $10 American. So, and you gotta shake this one. It's got one of those balls in it to shake. So let's just, okay, see how this works. And let's see, I think I'm going to, I think I really like to jump into this color Disco right here. This beautiful kind of metallic-y purple. And we'll put that kind of on the outer. Let's see how she picks up. Let's see how it goes on. There we go. I just need to swirl it a bit more. Okay, that's the one eye. It's kind of hard to get it out on that sticky. It's taken a bit of work, but once you dip into it a few times, I am starting to see the color pay off a bit better. But it does take a bit of work. But this shade is quite pretty. This kind of blue purple metallic shade. I do quite like that. It did take a bit of finessing to get it on though. Okay, so I'm just going to grab another little flat brush, and this is just my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, but they're nice and flat, so we'll hit that with some setting spray. The setting spray smells nice. I don't know if that's what we're worried about, but it does smell nice. So in the next color I'm going to jump into here is that Baja Mer, that nice kind of minty lime green, and I'm going to put that on the inner. Okay, let's see. There is some metallic in it. I don't know if it's quite as much as the purple. Ooh, okay. That one went on quite nice. Oh, I quite like that shade. That one is fun. And that one went on a lot nicer than the purple. But I don't think it's quite as metallic-y as the purple, so that could be why. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab the brush that had the Disco shade and just tap that, and so that way I don't lose it. We'll just blend that into the green a bit. Okay. I'm just going to take the brush that had the black, that Nightlife, and I'm just going to slightly tap into it, slightly, just so we blend it a bit into the purple, just in that corner. Okay. And then again, we'll dip into that Fuego shade. bright kind of pink, orangey shade. It's not pink, it's definitely an orange shade. Makes me think of almost a creamsicle. I'm not hating on that. The only problem I have, that looks so muddy. This side looks a little better, but this one looks kind of muddy, how the black went right into that Fuego shade, and I just can't seem to get it back on there. It just keeps kind of making itself more and more muddy. So I've lost that shade on, like this side. I still have that shade. It looks quite nice, but all right, we'll dip into this canvas shade just for the final touches here. And we'll move on to the face. Okay, so to start off with primer today, we're going to try a different e.l.f. primer. This is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. So it's supposed to help more with oils, which is definitely something I need because I do have a lot of oils in my skin and they break out quite bad. This primer was $8 American. And I'm assuming it'll be very similar to the other putty ones that they have. So, and I'll open it up. Yeah, so, but it's definitely more where the other putty primer I have by e.l.f., it's definitely more of a pink tone. This is definitely more of a white tone. So, let's see how this works. But it feels very similar. It's just putty kind of put on and rub into the skin. I really try and concentrate on my oil spots, like my nose and around my mouth, because those are spots that are quite bad for me. So, and you just kind of blend that in, try and get a good kind of saturation of it everywhere, just like that. So the one tip that I have been doing a lot more lately is for especially us oily girls, is to put some setting powder on first, very, very lightly, very, very finely, and then put in setting spray and letting it dry first before you put on your concealer and your foundation. And it's supposed to help kind of put that layer in between your oils and your makeup, kind of almost like a protective thing, so that way they don't break out as easily. So I have been doing that, and I do find it does help. So first, our setting powder, we're using the matte setting powder in light pink, and this setting powder was $6 American. So let's see what kind of packaging this has. Okay. Okay, so it's a peel it off sticker. There is a sticker in here. Okay. Woo. And then it does have like a whole set, and then you turn this to kind of close it. So I'm just going to put it off in the lid. It even says pour powder here. Perfect. All right, we'll just put a little bit in there, and then I'm going to take our e.l.f. Retro Paradise, and this is usually says wood brush. This is the airbrush blender, so it's nice and fluffy. So we're just going to dab some in, and very, very, very lightly. I don't want to use too much. We want to make sure the nose area, chin, forehead is especially covered. And then I'm just going to take our setting spray, and I'm just going to put a couple of pumps. I don't want it heavy with the setting spray, but I want some on, and then we just let that dry. So now it does feel nice and dry, a little tacky, but nothing too bad. So let's start doing our foundation. So today for our concealer, I am going in with the 16 Hour e.l.f. Camo Concealer in Medium Peach. And these concealers are $6 American. And because I do want a little bit of a brightness too, so what I do is I use a shade lighter. So e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer in Light Peach. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that under the eyes. And a little on the bridge of the nose and right there on the forehead. I'm just going to take my e.l.f. sponge, just blend these out a bit. Okay, so now that I have that semi-blended, we're going to put on our foundation. So today we are using the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. It is oil-free and it is a medium coverage. And the shade I got is 150. It is Alabaster. So, just a quick shake. It is a glass bottle, which is kind of nice to see. And it is a pump as well. So I'm just going to start off, once it comes out. Here we go, with one pump. And let's see how far that'll go. So, and I'm just gonna slowly blend that, bounce it into the skin. It smells quite nice too. It smells quite fresh, not too heavy, which is nice. I don't like a heavy smelling foundation. Okay. So that's one pump. We're definitely going to need another pump or two. So I'm just going to do one pump at a time. Okay. Just kind of blend it out. I think that pump was a little bigger than our first pump, so that might do it. Let's see. Well, I think I might need a half pump, just a half pump. But yes, I like the smell of it. It smells very clean, almost, I want to say, if that makes sense. So put a little there. Kind of like that. And I always just give my ears a quick kind of dab. I'm sure they're not the same color either, right? Okay, so I'm just going to grab my mirror and give a more close-up look here. Okay. Well, she's sitting on the skin quite nice. I think I got a nice shade pick too. I quite like the smell of it. I know I keep saying that, but I do. I quite like the smell. Interesting. So now we're going to go back into our powder. And as I've said in previous videos, I always use the other end to kind of pack that under the eye and around my nose. Okay, and then we're just going to use our fluffy brush that we were using. And this is the airbrush one out of the Retro Paradise collection. Gonna need a bit more powder though, I think. Okay. So, there we are, all powdered up. Okay, so our next step is our brows, and we use our brow cream in medium brown. And this is something I already had in the collection, but this is $4 American. And I'm just gonna take my little edge brush here, little flat edge brush. I usually use a harder one, so we're gonna see how a softer one will work. And the color goes on quite nice, so I always start at the middle and kind of build it. And the other eye, just the same kind of idea. Okay, and then after I got that on, I just used the spoolie end. This is another e.l.f. brush. I don't know if they have they call it the eyebrow duo brush. So you have your flat end on one edge and then you have a spoolie on the other. And I just like the spoolie to kind of make sure there's no clumps of color and just kind of blend it all nicely. Just like that. And then the next step, I like to use a brow gel. So this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel in neutral brown. It's a volumizing fiber gel, it says. And this brow gel is $4 American. So let's see what this component looks like. A lot of these are the first time I'm seeing a lot of these products. So this is kind of nice. So it's just a small little one like this. And let's see what the brush looks like on it. Okay, good. She's pretty tiny. Hopefully you can see that. She's pretty tiny. Okay, so. The brow gel I use now, the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows, the brush on it is so beautiful and tiny. So I get worried when I use too big of one. So. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to use the spoolie side of that and just make sure I got it all through, and there again is no clumps of color. Just like that. So let's finish off our eyes and grab our Retro Paradise palette. So the black I've noticed is going quite down, so I want to use more of that black kind of lower. Where's the black one? So this is just the brush I use for the black. I'm going to just grab this mirror so maybe you guys can see a bit better. And I'm just going to take a bit of it and just kind of punch it in the lower corner. I don't want it all black underneath, but I notice it is kind of coming down a bit. So we're just going to punch it in here. Just right on the outer edge. Just kind of like that. And then I'm going to take my smudge brush. I think that's what this one's called. Yeah, it's a smudge brush. It's a nice kind of small edge. And I think I'm just going to go into that shade Fuego, and I'm just going to buff that all across the bottom lash line. Just like that. It's kind of a neutrally kind of orange shade. It'll blend into that black, okay. Which is kind of what I want. I don't want anything too harsh. But I am one of those ones who likes to use eyeshadow on the bottom lash line. I find it kind of ties in your color. Okay. I'm finding that black just doesn't want to mix very well with the shade. I don't know if it's just the shade per se, but it definitely doesn't want to blend nicely. So that's something to kind of keep in mind if you're playing around with this. So I wanted to do full face. I want to do all aspects. So next we would do is our liquid eyeliner. This is the H2O proof eyeliner pen in jet black, and it is $6 American. Okay, so this is the pen. This is what it looks like. Oh, it has a shaker in it, so it's good to give it a good shake first. That is the tip of the pen. Looks nice. All right, let's see how it applies. She's a very tiny edge. She's a very small point, which is nice if you want to do a fine liner. Don't want anything too bold. Okay, and we'll just grab our trusty dinosaur fan. See how quickly she dries. And my dinosaur fan is still looking for a name. I'm sorry I haven't. I was planning on putting a poll up on my Facebook page of the different names and which ones we vote for. There was one Zephyr, which is like the god of wind. So I thought, oh, that's kind of fitting. And there's a couple other really nice ones too. So keep an eye on my Facebook because we will be doing a poll about our pink dinosaur friend. Okay, so there's the eyeliner on. It looks really good. It applied really well. The lines went on nice and straight. The ends look good. It looks nice and deep black, so we'll see how well it stays on. But so far, I'm very impressed. So now, of course, comes the bottom liner, which is always my problem area. So today, I got the waterproof gel eyeliner in black. And she was $4 American. Okay, so she's just a nice pencil liner. Nice and dark. So it feels nice and heavy actually. So let's see how this goes on my eye. If any of you have been watching, you know how much I've been struggling to find eyeliner that will actually stay in my waterline. She went on nice and dark. Cross her fingers. I'm so sick of it always running out and running down and always looking horrible. So let's hope she stays on nice and dark. And so far, she looks nice and dark. So our next step is mascara. So I got the e.l.f. 3-in-1 Very Black. And this mascara was $4 American. Okay, and here is the container, just nice flat black. Okay. Oh, nice pop. And that is the wand. I think the end round is more for doing the bottom lashes. But either way. So let's try this. I tend not to wear a lot of mascara on the top just to kind of adhere my lashes. So mascara is mascara to me. But I do like that little ball to get into the inner corners. That's kind of handy. Okay. So now that I got a nice light coat of that on, we are going to do some lashes. And these are faux mink lashes in Drama Queen. They're quite loud, which I like. And these are $5 American. Okay, so there's the lashes on. I'm sorry I'm not filming the application process because those were extremely hard and they didn't want to stay on. I don't know if it's the glue I used that they just didn't like it or what have you, but it did take some fandangoing on my part, I'm not going to lie. So now I'm just going to put some of the mascara along the bottom lashes here. Okay, there we go. The mascara, it's mascara. It does take a bit to dry, which I'm noticing because I did get some underneath my eyes already. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to go back into our Retro Paradise palette and just do the inner corner and the inner corner highlight and the brow highlight. So I'm just going to take one of these brushes. This is just the eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. and it's got a nice tip. And we're going to go into this shade Sea Salt, which is the white. It looks like a just nice white glitter. Okay, so there's our eyes done. I actually quite enjoyed the palette. The black isn't the greatest, I don't think, but I think we did turn out with a really nice, pretty eye look out of this. So now we just have a few more little things to finish off. We got some blush. This is in shade Bright Pink, and it was $3 American. $3 American. Like, can't go wrong with that. She's just like a nice little plastic container. Pops open nice. All right, and then we're going to use our other e.l.f. brush here from the Retro Paradise collection. This is the all over powder brush, but it's got a nice kind of tip to it, so that will work really well. Woo, for blush. Okay, so this is quite pigmented, light hand. It's okay though. I don't mind a bit of color on my cheeks. Very nice. Inexpensive, good pigmentation, really nice color on the cheeks. And then we have some highlight. This is the Metallic Flare Highlight in White Gold. I didn't write the price down on this one, so I will leave it in the link how much it is. I can't believe I did that. I got everything else except for this. Like a light white gold kind of shade for for these. I just find they look nice. I don't think I have enough brush for this. Oh no. Okay. I'm just gonna color swatch this because I don't actually have a highlight brush by e.l.f. So we're just gonna use this. This will work just fine. Okay, all the colors off. So that's what it looks like goes on. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's quite pretty. She's kind of a hard highlight, so it takes a bit of finessing with your brush. Oh, that doesn't even look like I got it on. Maybe a different brush would be better with it, but this is what I have for now, so. I wonder if it would work better with a finger. She's a very hard packed. You can feel that it's hard on the soft. Okay, there we go. It's a beautiful color. It took a bit of finessing because it is a very hard pan. So keep that in mind if you decide to purchase that one. So lastly, we have lipstick. So this is a liquid matte lipstick I got in shade Blushing Rose. And this lipstick is $6. So I'm just going to try and find a lip liner. That'll match. Let's see what shades. Most of these are quite brown or like hot pink, so that's not going to work. And unfortunately, I don't see shade names written on the liner. It just says lip liner. So let's see if it says on the package the lip colors. Nude Lip Liner 1, Nude Lip Liner 2, Nude Lip Liner 3, and Vivid Lip Liner. So there's really not even any names. But this is kind of like a rosy, it kind of matches, so we'll go with that. Okay. That went on quite nicely. It was a little hard, but probably because it hasn't been used before. So we'll just give this a shake. It's kind of a flat doe foot. It almost makes me think of the doe foots out of the Jeffree Star Cosmetics concealers. Interesting. Okay, wow, it went on really well too. Only one swipe. I didn't have to redunk into it, so that is impressive right there. We'll see how it dries down and how it goes. Now all I have left is to do my setting spray. She smells nice too. And here is our finished e.l.f. face. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with some of the products. The foundation went on quite nicely. It smelled really good, so I'm really impressed with that. The setting spray is quite nice too, very refreshing and what have you. The eyeshadows performed fairly well. I did have some problems with that black. The blush is obviously very pigmented, but I'm not angry at it. I think we got a really, really pretty look going here. I really want to test these out properly for all you, my darklings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear this full face for the whole day. And I'm going to come back later on and tell you my final thoughts on all this e.l.f. Cosmetics products we used. Let's see how it stays on my face. Being an oily girl, makeup doesn't always stay well. So I want to test it out. I want to test it out properly for you guys. So I will return later on today to give you my final thoughts. Hiya honeys, we're back to talk about this e.l.f. makeup. It has been officially about 6 to 7 hours. I've had dinner, I've had multiple cups of coffee. I have done nothing. I have not touched up even my lipstick. This is just how it is. So I'm just going to go over with the mirror and see what we think. Okay. So I am definitely seeing some problems with the foundation. It could just be also the primer, but I am severely breaking my oils around my nose and it looks like it is kind of coming off. It is also setting in very badly into my pores around my nose. But with that being said, if you do not have oily skin, as yours truly does, this might work very well for you. The eyeshadows still look very nice, very vibrant still, which is great because that's the one thing you find, especially with the vibrant colors, that the boldness, the vibrancy of the color will fade with time. That still looks beautiful and bright. Now, eyeliner. There is still some in the waterline, actually. I'm quite surprised and happy to see that. But it does look like it's smudged quite a bit onto my lower line. That could also be the mascara. Lashes. The blush still looks beautiful. And the highlight isn't quite as strong, but it is still there. And speaking of highlight, I checked it out before I came on. This highlight is $6 American. So, this is our e.l.f. haul. What do we think? Is there any products you guys like that you want to see more of, perhaps? This eyeshadow palette is definitely a must. Quite like it. The color's good. It's vibrant. It is inexpensive. Again, this eyeshadow palette is only $14 American. $14 American. My other real, I think, highlight is their liquid matte lipstick. As I said, I've been drinking coffee. I have been eating my dinner. And it looks still very good. The color still looks good. I have not put this on since I did my earlier video. So, I will definitely be purchasing more of these in different shades because that is bomb. That is bomb. And also, just the plain brush in the bright pink. It lasts very well. The pigmentation was good. Very, very pleased with that. So there you have it, my honeys. A full face of e.l.f. Very inexpensive brand that you can go to your local drugstore and purchase. I hope you really enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed the drugstore haul, because this is something I could do more of instead of just doing all the high-end brands, because that's what I like. As you know where to find me, I am on Facebook and Instagram under Lady Mylita. And on Sundays at 4:30 Eastern, I go live and do my makeup with you guys. I hope you can join me sometime. We chat and share tips, and it's just a great time. Stay safe. Be good to one another. Until next time. Goodbye, my darling.